Welcome back to AskAPop. Today we're talking about fools and little children. Always. There's an old saying that God protects fools and little children. Whew. That means I've been protected ever since I was born, just maybe not in the same order. All kidding aside, what does it mean to be under His protection? There's a couple Bible parables or stories that I'd like to talk about that maybe make us think about it. First is parting of the Red Sea. Every time I've read that passage before, I always think about, God parting the Red Sea. But when you think about it, and this time when I read about it, I actually read where it talks about him having Moses stretch out his arms. So even though God actually did the actual parting of the Red Sea, he first had his proxy on earth raise out his arms. So even though he could have done it all by himself, he still had somebody on earth do some of the actions. The next is the Good Samaritan. Now this one hits home because the first two guys actually didn't do anything wrong. If they would have stopped to help this guy, he was unclean. They wouldn't have been able to do their job when they got to where they were going because they would have been unclean and they ritually wouldn't have been able to do that. But they chose to make that decision. The third guy, the Samaritan, he wasn't supposed to like Jews, but he chose to be a good neighbor. Why does that make me think of an insurance company? If you know, you know. Anyway, he chose to be that good neighbor. Now let's go back to modern day Cecil and how I'm under his protection even today. Our air conditioning went out right before a holiday weekend, and we called up our trusted AC company, and this time they said it was terminal. And then after me and the boss, the wife, talked about it, we decided we needed a new AC unit. We called them up, and we weren't expecting miracles to happen, but they told us that they talked with a crew that was willing to give up a day off on a holiday weekend to come out, and they weren't going to charge us holiday rates. They were going to charge us regular rates to put in the new air conditioner. So that way we wouldn't have to go through the holiday weekend in the Florida heat. The unit arrived. It was damaged in shipping. So the owner of the company then brought out on his day off another unit to replace that one, so we would still have the unit on a Saturday, on a holiday, again, at no extra charge to make sure that our house would stay cool. Now, nobody parted a Red Sea, nobody became a saint, but that's what modern day Good Samaritans are.